In today's video, we're going to talk about time management and get ourselves organized and get ourselves together. Hello everyone, welcome back to Miss Ming's channel. This is Miss Ming. In my channel, I do vlog videos, makeup videos, lifestyle videos, and time management videos, and everything I'm passionate about to create a happy, healthy, beautiful lifestyle. If this content interests you, make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss out any future content. In today's video, we're going to talk about time management and get ourselves organized and get ourselves together. Before we start, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Alright, let's get started. Recently, I attended a training by a lady called Maya, and she wrote a book about the Together Leader. You may wonder, what does it mean by getting together? So basically, it's a book that teaches you how to manage your time, how to manage your schedule, and how to get yourself together in a professional and also in a personal space. I'll put the link of this book in the description box down below so you can check it out. It's a big book, but this book really inspired me to do this video. I'm going to talk about some of the things I learned from this book, but for copyright reasons, I'm not going to show the materials in that book. So if you're curious about what this book is about, or you can use some of the materials and examples, you can definitely check out this book. It's sold in Amazon. It's written by this girl, Maya, and she's the person who gave us the training for our work. So definitely check it out. Just a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Maya, but Maya, if you're watching, please sponsor this video. Alright, so let's talk about things I learned from my training and things that I've been doing throughout the life in terms of time management and get myself organized and get myself together. As usual, I have my cheat sheets right here on my phone, so if you see me reading like this, it's because I read my notes. Okay, let's get started. So to get myself together, one thing that I love to do is to assess and self-reflect. You can assess and self-reflect by writing reflection journals. You can write diaries and write down things that you've been feeling, or you can do this by meditation. So usually when I do meditation, you're not supposed to think about anything. You're supposed to just space out. But during my meditation, like, things start to come into my way, and those are the things that might be things that I need to address in my actual personal space or professional space to be able to go to that meditation state. So the first thing is to assess how you're feeling right now. What's your state? So are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling stressed out? And when you're assessing your emotion and your current state, you can start to reflect what really caused your anxiety, what really caused your stress, and what really caused that you're not like enjoying your life and getting yourself together. So the first step is to assess and self-reflect. The second step is to set goals and intention for your work and your personal life. So you could do this separately for your professional and personal, or you can do it together. I prefer to have it separately, but Maya, the trainer, she loves to put them together so you're not neglecting your personal goals. But to me personally, I love to separate professional goals. Once you know your goal, you need to create a priority plan for your goals. Actually, you can do this from yearly to monthly to weekly to daily. So a lot of times when we set a goal, like I want to increase my fitness, I want to work out more, those are your priority and your goals, but you need a plan and you need a priority plan. So if you set your goal to be more healthy, you need to create a plan incorporating monthly goal and weekly goal and daily plans for your priority. So if your goal is to be more healthy, then you need to look at your workout plans and also your diet plans. When there's so many things around us that are trying to pull us apart, you have your family responsibilities, you have school responsibilities, you have your work, you have your friends, and you have your personal hobbies, and you also have your personal goals. It's very, very important to know what's your priority and what serves you to actually meet your goal. So if your goal is to focus more on your health this year, a lot of other things may be in your way, and when there are two things you have to choose from, you have to choose the one that's in your priority plan that serves your major goal. So it's so important to not just have your yearly goal, your New Year resolution, but also set out a priority plan. When things are conflicting, I always have to prioritize the things that are serving my yearly goal, which is to eat healthy or to graduate, to get the dissertation done, or to learn something professionally, to achieve certain things as a company, or achieve certain things at an individual level. Once you have your goals and your priority plan, the next thing you need is to set up a timeline. If you don't have a timeline, it's very difficult to know when you can achieve your goal. If your yearly goal is to finish your dissertation this year, right? Then you need to have a timeline by when you need to finish what part, by when you need to finish what part, by when you need to finish what part, and then the timelines will push you to your actual ultimate goal. So you have to have a timeline when you have your priority plan. And to go with a timeline, you need to outline the activities that support your goal. A lot of times our New Year resolution do not carry it over, do not get achieved in your December because we don't actually have an action plan. So we need to have our yearly goal or our intention of the year, intention of the month, and then we need to have our timeline of achieving the goals, and we need to lay out actions that we need to be able to achieve the goals. So you not only need a timeline, you also need an action plan. So outline the activities that will help you and achieve those smaller actions that will support you and serve you to finally achieve your overall goal. And sometimes we have goals that are not achievable within a year. So it's very important to review your goal with yourself or with someone else. And if everybody is telling you, well, they support them, but maybe you will achieve this goal within like 2 years instead of 1 year, listen to them, review to see if that it's possible to achieve the goal within the timeline that you created, and try to allow a little bit of flexibility so that you don't frustrate yourself when it comes to goal achieving process. The third step is gist. Gist has become an internet language, and it refers to get your, I don't cuss on the internet, but basically it's get your together. So as you know, I love plan. I have so many planners. I have my own planner system. So when it comes to gist, it's very important to have a comprehensive calendar or comprehensive planner to reflect all your goals and your action plans and to see your priorities. So every time you have to make a decision, you need to refer it back to your priority plan and also within the context of your actual calendar and planner. So it's very important to negotiate a little bit here and there, but it's also important to know that every single action should serve you in your goal. If it's not serving you, maybe you could procrastinate a little bit. And plan. I always block time to plan for each week. It's also very important for me to block time to plan each day. Usually I do this in the morning. I usually plan my week, usually in the earlier of the week or Sunday, and you can see a lot of my planner videos. But definitely planning and that process of planning really helps myself to get my life together. Sometimes things do not go the way we planned. That is okay, but just have an idea and just have myself visualize how my week is going to be like, and just to have myself to visualize what are the activities and what are the timelines of activities really help me to organize my life together, and really helps me to de-stress, and we're not panicking because I know by finishing 3 steps of the day, I am 3 steps closer to my goal. Earlier, we talked about procrastination. In the book, there is a term called strategic procrastination. So I believe that a lot of procrastinators, they're actually goal achievers because they strategically procrastinate certain activities that do not serve our goals. So one thing about the strategic procrastination that was discussed in this book is actually to design a later list. So a later list is kind of like a to-do list, but it's not really a to-do list. So when I usually list a set of like to-do lists, I use usually the things I wanted to be done by the end of this day or by the end of this week. But a later list is like, oh, there's a thing, there's an idea that I want to pursue, but I don't have time for this right now. But a lot of times we just dropped it. But as a YouTuber, I don't want to drop my idea because I want to be creative. Every time I have a great idea about a video, I have to immediately write it down. So later list is very, very important when you have 1,000 things going on in your life and you have strategically prioritize things that serve your goal for your weekly goal. There are also things that do not serve your weekly goal because I already have video content for this week. Then I need to put that in my later list. So I actually have a long list of later lists. I still have a lot of publications to do. I have to publish my dissertation. I have a bibliography that I need to do. I'm trying to learn this. I'm trying to learn that. I also have 10 more video ideas I haven't had time to actually film. But I don't want to forget about them because if I don't write it down, sometimes it's just gone. And later I realize, hey, I had this great idea and now there's a successful video that I didn't do and I could have succeeded in that particular video, right? So later list comes in handy. So strategic procrastination doesn't mean that you don't do it, but just means that things do not serve you right now. You can actually write it down and achieve later. So for me, I have a short-term to-do list for this particular day and particular week. I also have a long-term to-do list that I want to finish within this year. And I usually work backwards from the deadlines. I know it may not be the best habit, but if you're in school for your whole life, there are like 10,000 deadlines every single week. You have to work based on the deadlines because you don't want to miss any single one of them. It's always good to have something compared to you have nothing, because you were trying to achieve perfectionism in one of the other activities. So I usually mark my deadlines in my calendar and work backwards. So every time when it's like a few weeks or a few days before the deadline, I start to plan, I start to include activities to help you to achieve that goal within the week or month before that. And I've never missed a single deadline in my life, which is something I'm really proud of. In Maya's book, it also further talked about the benefits of having a later list. First, you could delegate. There are things that you can ask your assistant or your husband to do for you. And also, you know what are the expectations are. It helps you to plan. It helps you to get input from others. So sometimes I would show my boss my later list and they would tell me, oh, prioritize this, work on this. And then later, this is not your priority right now. That really helps me to get input from my supervisor. And having a later list really helps me to stay focused. So I'm not thinking about 10 things at once. I can focus on the task and do it efficiently, and later just cross off like other things in my later list. And it allows you to be flexible, and it really makes you more thoughtful. And also you can track work this way. I used to work from a consultant firm. My boss graduated from UT Austin with an MBA, and we used to be required to track our time and our work. So every day I tracked every single minute of my day and what work and what are the things that I've done. Did I talk to this person? Did I meet with this person? I don't really agree with this type of micromanagement, but for my own protection, even when I'm not required to do that, I still love to track what I've been working on, just in case later my boss asks me, hey, what have you been working over the last week? I can show you, hey, I worked on 10 different things, and this is how much time each task took me to accomplish. So it's very important to track my work, especially when you work for someone else. Only thing about later list is that a lot of times people put it on the paper and lose it. It's very important to have a later list so we can strategically procrastinate, but procrastinate doesn't mean that you don't finish. So it's very important to revisit your later list from time to time and make sure that you put items on your later list back to your schedule, so you're scheduling specific time for the tasks that you put down in your later list. Don't forget to visit your later list. Don't forget about the tasks that you put down in the later list, and make sure you put them back to your schedule. They're important. That's why you first put them on the later list. So definitely don't forget to check if you do have a later list. Number 5, this is something that I've been doing consistently, is that every time before I do any task, I usually visualize how long it usually takes me about doing this task, and I always block it on my calendar. And usually during the blocked time, I don't work on anything else. I just focus on this particular task. I always try to block time so that I know what time is delegated to what particular task, and that really helps me to work more efficiently. Number 6 is always to block time for travel, break, snacks, and hydrate. A lot of times we don't remember to hydrate, especially when we work in the office. I've noticed that after I started working in office in a desk job, I used to drink a lot of water when I teach, but not anymore. Right now, I usually block 2 minutes every hour just to take a break. So every hour I go to the restroom, I go drink water. Even if I don't need to go to the restroom, even if I don't feel thirsty, I feel like it's important to move my body around every hour. So if you also have a desk job, definitely take a break every hour. You can set an alarm, a reminder. It could be annoying at first, but it really helps me to get into the routine of taking care of myself and not just sit down like an entire day. It's not healthy. Similarly, if you have 2 things going on and you have to travel from spot to spot, make sure you think about how long it usually takes you to travel. And sometimes it takes me 1 hour to travel from my work to my yoga studio. So those things need to be reflected on the calendar, because if you don't block it, sometimes you forget and you ended up like your day just gets longer and longer and longer. And that's what happened to me. I thought I would get everything done at night, but because of the travel time, I realized I didn't go to bed until 11 o'clock. And I was like, how did this happen? And I realized there were like 30 minutes of travel time in between my tasks. And that's what really took my entire day. So I started to block things that I spent on travel. And then I had a better idea like when I can finish my task and when I need to go to bed. Number 7 is actually a good one, and I definitely learned this from this book, is to develop a solution plan for last minute plan crushers. And this happened to me all of the time. I had the perfect planner, I had my perfect schedule like I planned, and then last minute there was a meeting, there was a task, and then there's so many crushers that just making sure that I don't go with the way I planned. And definitely there are internal crushers and external crushers. Internal crushers could be that I got tired of doing this task, I just couldn't do it anymore. I planned to do this for 4 hours, but I got tired, I just couldn't continue. Internally, I got fatigued. Externally, people may ask my help, they may call me, they may email me, there may be a meeting. There's so many external factors at the same time. So there are 1,000 things every day that prevent me from going with my schedule. It's just so hard. But it's also very important to develop a solution plan. So if you know that if you work 4 hours straight can get you fatigued and inefficient, maybe don't schedule long hours for like 4 hours. Do 1 hour and take a break, do something else. And similarly, if you know that like on the weekends you have like family responsibilities, but out of the blue, you sometimes know, you sometimes don't know, it's unpredictable, it's also very important to think that, oh, I blocked 2 hours that I don't have anything scheduled just in case my family may of something. One thing that I love to do is to predict what may have happened and then try to like plan or schedule accordingly. But there are also things that comes up and then I just have to deal with it last minute. Definitely if you thought about these like potential like plan crushers, it's easier to deal with them because like psychologically and emotionally you're already prepared. Number 8 strategy is to establish a routine for the work that can be routinized. Usually this applies to writing, data visualization, data analysis. Usually I have a routine. First I do this, second I do this, third I do this. Once I establish this routine, I felt like I become more efficient because I don't have to plan next. What do I do next to make it more efficient? So sometimes I do like to analyze what I do to finish each task and routinize them. This even applies to grading. I used to grade so many papers and I had a routine like what specific things I need to check in what specific types of paper and what comments are more important and helpful to the students. Once I establish this routine for a particular course, I love to use it all the time. It definitely helps me to like shorten my grading time, and also my student replied that they loved my comments more. They found it more helpful because I know exactly how to help them. I have a routinized comments or feedback and I think it's effective for that particular course. But it's also different from course to course, and also it's very different from different publications. So sometimes I do have to spend a little bit more time just to plan and to analyze. I need to try out different ways and then I get feedback and then later I could establish or revise my routine. So have a routine for your work or have a routine for your morning and the evening definitely helps me to be more efficient, especially in the morning. Now like my morning get ready time is actually shortened because I have a consistent morning routine. Number 9 is strategic multitasking. This one is in a dangerous zone because like not everybody is good at multitasking, and also there are tasks that it's better that you don't multitask. Like it's better you spend 1 hour finishing this task than if you spend 3 hours doing 2 tasks and didn't finish either of them like really great. So multitasking usually comes in like if you drive at the same time listen to audiobook, so it's multitasking. Like a lot of times we say, oh, I don't have time to read. There are audiobooks that you can read when you're driving, right? I usually listen to different things when I'm getting ready in the morning. If I'm trying to learn a different like coding language, I just listen to YouTube videos and later I revisit them at work. Now multitasking doesn't mean that you're always doing 2 things at once, and definitely don't do anything dangerous, especially when you're driving. But like if if you are using your eyes at the same time your hands, you can definitely use your ears for something else. So if I'm gonna call my husband or call my friend, I love to call when I work out at the gym, because when I'm like lifting weights, I can actually talk. It's actually like great multitasking. But when I actually work or when I actually devote like writing, I need my mind to be there. I don't like to make phone calls at the same time work, because at the end of the day, I don't give my friend full attention when I talk to them, and like my paper would be like full of typos and the logic is not there. So just be careful when you try multitasking. The last one is to take notes of your thoughts and ideas all of the time. I love to use my iPhone because with iPhone, I have a notes function and it's connected to my account, and I can actually pull it out with my phone or with my computer. And now that I have a job and work computer is not Mac, it's Windows, so I recently found out a Google Keep. So basically this is what it looks like. It has an app version, it also has like the computer version. So basically it allows you to have like something like sticky notes. So every time I thought about something, I just put it down. So right here, I just put it down like when I took notes. When I was reading this book, I was taking a lot of reading notes. Sometimes I have my computer, sometimes I only have my phone. But with this app, I can take notes with both computer and my phone. And you can organize them in different colors. You can also organize them in different like sticky notes type of thing. So it's really, really helpful. I learned this during the training. A lot of people were using it. And when I was reading this book, I read some of them during the training. I also read others like when I was in a coffee shop. When I was in a coffee shop, I didn't have any computer, so I just used my phone to take notes. Like I also took some talking points about making this video. So this book is actually really thick. So basically what I discussed in this video is about like 50% of the essence of this book. But in this book, it also shows you a lot of examples of like comprehensive calendar. It shows you like 5 people's calendar and you can evaluate it to see which one is more effective. And sometimes you can also get ideas about, oh, I never thought about doing this, let me try this. So this book is not just about like how to do things, but also showing like some examples that you can analyze. So again, I'll put this link to this book in the description box down below. You can check them out here. So one of my goals in this year is to continue my self-development even after school. So I'm trying to read books about like not just time management, get my life together, but also like financial books, books of success, entrepreneurship, and things like that, because I want to continue to learn and develop myself and to be better and better every single day. Alright, that's it for today. I hope this video is helpful to you. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out with YouTube algorithm. And that's it for today. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also let me know in the comments what are your ways of keeping your life together, what are your ways to organize your life together and to manage your time. Alright, that's it for today. Thumbs up and subscribe, ring the notification bell. I will see you in my next video. Bye!